ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
Alfredo, San Diego police, come outside!
We are seeing what happened moments before San Diego police shot and killed a man who charged at them while carrying a metal rod. The man's family says he was in need of help. Good evening, I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. Our ABC 10 News reporter Anthony Pura spoke with the family's attorney, who says they felt the use of force was excessive.
The attorney says the family plans to take legal action, calling it a tragic and needless death.
Alfredo, San Diego police, come outside!
San Diego police released this body camera video from an officer-involved shooting from the early morning of October 19th. SDPD released 3 different body camera videos, but this shows the most from the incident. You can see officers approaching a home on the 300 block of South Party Street. They see a man outside a home. He appears to have something in his hand as you hear officers tell him to drop it. The man then appears to run at them, and within seconds there are sounds of weapons firing and the man falls to the ground. We are freezing the moment before the man is shot and killed. He's been identified as 39-year-old Jose Alfredo Castro Gutierrez. One officer fired a taser. He's wearing the body camera you watched. There is also video from the body cam of the officer that fired a beanbag round and from the third that fired a gun. All show the chain of events. There are also home security cameras that show the incident. You can see from a different angle here Castro appearing to run to the officers before he is shot and falls to the ground. We are again freezing it at the moment before he is shot. Police also released this freeze frame of the body camera video that they say shows Castro with the rod in his hand. They also released an image of the rod they recovered on scene.
It's not an aggressive charge with any brandishing of a weapon or a fist. He's running because he believed that they would give him help.
Gene Iredale represents Castro's family. They are planning to file a wrongful death lawsuit saying that lethal force was not warranted.
He has a broken off piece of a curtain rod in his hand. You could whack somebody over the head with that and it wouldn't even hurt him. It would break the rod. That's how thin it was.
He shared these pictures of Castro, his wife, and 1-year-old daughter with ABC 10 News. He says Castro is a Mexican citizen and a legal resident of the U.S. His wife lives in Mexicali, but Castro has been working in the U.S. and renting in San Diego. He also says he has a history of mental illness.
This was a person who was in a mental health crisis, who was frightened, who was paranoid. His last words as he rushed toward them, "Ayuda, help me."
His widow emotional in this video statement provided by Iredale. She says the family is shocked at what happened, calling her husband's death an injustice. She described him as a hardworking and responsible man that many people loved. The San Diego Police Department says the incident will be reviewed by the District Attorney's Office, Internal Affairs, and the Community Review Board. Anthony Pura, ABC 10 News.
One person has died after Hurricane Zeta slammed into the Gulf Coast today. That person was electrocuted by downed power lines. The Category 2 storm knocked out power and destroyed homes and businesses. It's the strongest storm to hit the continental U.S. this late in the hurricane season in more than a century, and the 5th one to hit Louisiana this year.
Frustrating because, damages from this one could be one thing, and then damages from another one is one thing, and you can't keep up, catch up with it.
The damaging winds and rain are now racing inland, threatening states all the way across the Carolinas and into parts of the Northeast.
The U.S. Election Project estimates that more than 75 million Americans have already voted early in person or by mail. That's more than half the voting total in the 2016 election. And as ABC's Alex Perche reports, President Trump and Joe Biden are crisscrossing the country, stumping for votes in key battleground states, trying to gain and maintain ground.
With just 6 days before Election Day, both the Trump and Biden campaigns are vying for crucial battleground states.
Hello, Phoenix. 6 days, can you believe this?
President Trump in Arizona.
My plan will crush the virus and make we're going to be stronger than ever before.
The COVID-19 response front and center. Arizona is one of at least 45 states seeing rising cases of the virus. Michigan is another. Vice President Pence was there today, and President Trump will be back again on Friday. He'll also visit Wisconsin. Coronavirus cases there surging too, both states he won in 2016. The latest ABC News Washington Post poll has former Vice President Biden up 7 points in Michigan and 17 points in Wisconsin. Voters there largely disapproving of the president's pandemic response. The 538 poll average has Biden up by nearly 9 points in Wisconsin. But already, more than 75 million Americans have voted early, either in person or through mail-in ballots. No state has more early voters than Texas. 8 million. Biden's down by only 4 points there. The state's Republican governor going door-to-door himself to hold off the challenge.
I work in the oil and gas, so what Biden and Kamala Harris have said is very scary.
The Biden campaign is also focusing on Iowa. Farmers there were the crucial base Trump won in 2016. Many are struggling from the president's trade deals, devastating weather, and COVID-19. The federal government pumping more than $37 billion in to aid them. And in the battleground state of Florida, nearly 7 million have already voted. Republicans in the state are making a surge. On Monday, they trailed Democrats in early voter turnout by more than 350,000. That's now down to less than 250,000 in just 2 days. Joe Biden will head to Tampa tomorrow. Alex Perche, ABC News, Washington.
County leaders say our high testing rate is keeping us in the red tier, but cases could still go up. The latest numbers on coronavirus from the state put our adjusted case rate at 6.5 per 100,000 people. It's an improvement over the previous week. The county says that we're holding steady, but the goal is to show a decline.
As we've also stated, this is a marathon, it is not a sprint. And by practicing these behaviors for a few weeks and then stopping it, it sends us into the yo-yo situation as well. So this is will have to become a way of life.
The County Board of Supervisors decided to extend collecting fees that many restaurants face, such as liquor and health permits, until March 31st of 2021. Restaurant groups across San Diego and the state call these fees unfair at a time many of them are barely able to stay open. And the county is also discouraging people from participating in traditional Halloween events this weekend.
And here are the latest local coronavirus numbers. The county reported 330 new cases today. That brings our total to 55,500. There were also 4 new deaths, bringing that total to 881.
I don't believe it. I can't believe they're gone right now.
Disbelief for friends of 3 people who died late last night in Mount Hope after crashing their car into a tree following a chase. Police say the vehicle was reported stolen. The driver refused to pull over. As our ABC 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo shows us, friends say they were all under the age of 18.
Too little. It's just devastating. I'm shocked and sad.
Christian Guzman says he's the friend of the 3 people killed during this accident last night in Mount Hope.
Right in the middle.
Tonight, he left candles at the scene of the crash.
We're just chilling, laughing, having a good time.
Guzman says the victims are all teenagers, ages 14, 15, and 17. He says he was with them last night.
They hopped in the car, they said bye, and then 5 minutes later, they pronounced it. Then they died right here.
San Diego police say the car was reported stolen and that the driver refused to pull over for officers, driving at more than 100 miles per hour when it lost control. Guzman wasn't in the car.
They're just scared. They didn't want to pull over. They're good kids. They really are.
According to police, no one was wearing a seatbelt. The victims haven't been identified.
I feel bad for all the families. I'm sorry for your loss.
The 4th passenger was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. Laura Acevedo, ABC 10 News.